Hey, welcome. Today I have a very special guest, Natasha, where she's going to share with you some amazing tips and things you can do to overcome stress and anxiety. Before we get into the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below on your thoughts about this video. If you want to learn more about the intuitive stress and anxiety course of Natasha, the link will be in the description. Welcome everybody to this very special live where I have with me Natasha Rose Mills. She's going to be talking about manage anxiety. And Natasha, well, I work with her and she's a mindfulness transformational coach. Natasha is known for a role winning Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah, as just featured in Variety this morning, Good Morning Britain. So Natasha has overcome depression following a break after discovering mindfulness and compassion therapy. It became her road to healing and self-discovery. She has a level 4 mindfulness compassion therapy CP CAP qualification and certified life coach with the Alliance, Coach Alliance. Her work has been featured in Fox News, NBC, and Yahoo Finance. She's the #1 best-selling author for multiple author book, Creating Joy, and she has taught actors how to attract their dream role by overcoming triggers holding them back. She teaches mindfulness and self-compassion in schools and online. She is a kind soul and dedicated to helping people reach their true potential. Welcome, Natasha.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you here. So now that people know a little bit about you, can you share with us like this anxiety that we have? Like sometimes we cannot turn it off. It's always there. And it's like, it's different than stress, right? So could you talk a little like kind of the difference between these two, like stress and anxiety, and a few things we can do to manage this?
So when it comes to anxiety, anxiety is a feeling inside that is just like a niggling feeling that often holds us back. When we're stressful, we're putting so much pressure on ourselves, and it's releasing cortisol within the body. And this means that we end up going into perhaps feeling depressed, and that also leading to anxiety because we're feeling very stressed. It's really transitioning from going into feeling very stressed, and then we might feel very much anxiety because of if we have an audition coming up and we're not sure that we're going to get it. We're causing ourselves anxiety because we're worrying constantly. And when we feel very stressful about something, it's usually because we're putting so much pressure on ourselves. And it's high expectations. We want to complete this thing. We want to finish whatever it is that we're working on right now. We're putting so much pressure on ourselves, and it's causing more stress, which can lead to burnout.
Got you. Totally. I've myself got into depression, and anxiety was something that was always there. What, in your experience, I mean, you're a coach, you actually coach people, and you have courses on doing this, but can you give us some tips? Like I've heard of breath work and other tactics and tips. Could you share some of them on how we can?
One effective way is always knowing how you're breathing. Breathing is really important, but we don't always know how to breathe properly. And abdominal breathing is necessary. And the reason being this is when it comes to abdominal breathing, we're allowing more oxygen within the body. So I'm just going to say a bit of the story, really. If you can remember when you were a child, you had the gentle rise and fall of the belly as you breathed in and breathed out. And we were lying on our back in a cot. But somewhere along the way, most of us have lost that pattern of breathing. And this can be to do with the collapse in the spine. If you're sitting at a desk all day, causes a collapse in the spine because of stress hormones. So increased amount of stress, putting pressure on ourselves, that can also be a contribution. It can also be to do with many different things, asthma, or even tight clothing. So there's many different reasons why this happens, which causes upper chest breathing. Because we're not able to have the oxygen within the body through breathing through the stomach, it all perpetuates, it comes up here, the cycle of stress is perpetuated after that. So what happens here is if we're not able to breathe properly, we're restricting the breath. We're restricting the amount of oxygen within the body, which can cause illnesses and in some cases disease, and obviously an increased risk of stress hormones within the body. And how we want to break that cycle is abdominal breathing. So we can do a simple practice. I'm happy to do that if you'd like to.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. It's a very simple practice. You can do this at any time during the day. And we're going to place one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly. As you inhale through your nose, watching your belly expand as you breathe in. So we really want to expand the belly. And as you breathe out, feeling the belly contract as you breathe out. Good. Okay, and then doing that again. Inhaling as your belly expands as you breathe in, and seeing if your belly contracts as you breathe out. And that's okay if it doesn't, that's okay too. And just noticing what is the relationship between the two hands. Is there any difference there? Or perhaps,
Absolutely. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
I can feel
what
that.
is that?
Well, just the well, in the stomach is like my hand is moving because of the air going in and out. But other than that, it's like a good feeling. I can feel it, everything, and it keeps
Is
me
that
calm.
normal? Is that something that you usually do, or is this kind of a
I never done
very
this.
familiar? No, and that's okay too. So as we're breathing in and breathing out, moving the hand away that's not moving, and then just keep on breathing into the stomach, breathing in and breathing out. So if you'd like to, when you do abdominal breathing, you can close your eyes if that feels right. Sometimes that can be quite helpful as we're expanding the air, or you can leave your eyes open. But it's a simple practice you can do at any time if you feel stressed, if you feel anxiety, because what it will help you to do is get into something called the parasympathetic nervous system.
Oh,
So we
wow.
have these different fight or flight responses. When we feel stressed, we instantly go into a sympathetic nervous system. So we're either going to fight through something, we're going to flight, we're going to run away because we don't want to feel it. And usually, if we're feeling anxiety, we might end up stopping ourselves opportunities. We might be running away from these opportunities because we don't want to feel it. And also because it's not familiar to us. Or then we've actually got, so we've got fight, or flee. So we've got these different things that happen, which causes us to go into this sympathetic nervous system when we feel very stressed. So the parasympathetic is rest and digest, and it makes you feel very calm within yourself. But also the fun part of it, I always call it the fun part, it switches on the prefrontal cortex responsible for decision making. And here's the thing, it's all mind and body connected. So when you're able to breathe properly, you're able to think properly too. You're able to make those quick decisions And you're coming from a place, instead of trying to come from a place of solution, you're coming from a different place, feeling very calm and feeling peaceful. And it's simply through the breath. Your breath is very powerful.
Wow, that was incredible. I mean, I didn't knew you had so much knowledge about this as well. Wow. That's incredible. I do feel more calm and relaxed just by putting my hand in here. That's very interesting. And well, I know that you have a lot of techniques and you teach this in your course as well. What can people expect when they work with you? I mean, well, let's get more into maybe more techniques that you know, but like what like you have this course, this mini course that could you tell me a little bit about it, and how do you take somebody that is in stress, that is in with anxiety, to be calm and just intuition as well? Because one is you don't use medication, right? Most people just go to the doctor and use pills and things like that.
Doesn't work.
Yeah.
I've got something to say about that, Fabio. It's almost like putting a plaster on, hoping that it's going to heal. But it's not going to heal. As soon as the plaster gets wet, it hasn't healed. So you need to let air in, you need to let oxygen in order for it to heal. And it's the same with your body. When you're able to connect on a much deeper level and you know what's going on beneath the surface, identifying what is beneath that, what is beneath those emotions, to know what you need to do, to know what action you need to take. And the more we can identify with that, with ourselves, and we're not trying to look for somebody else to help us do it. It's all fine to have somebody to take you there, but looking for somebody else that is providing emotional support, and sometimes that's what we do when we feel in a heightened state. We're looking for somebody else to take that pain away. But when we can find the emotional support within, we surprise ourselves as well that we can actually cope with this. We know what we need to do, and it's all about connecting through the mind and the body, but also a little bit on intuition as well.
Absolutely. And I really relate with that, because on my journey to overcoming depression, and it was by looking within me that things really shifted and changed. And I gave up medication and all of that. But absolutely, a lot of people are just lost. They don't know how to handle these situations, because sometimes can be extreme. I know people that have just extreme anxiety, like they lock themselves and they just don't know what to do. So you gave that one tip, which is absolutely amazing, which, by the way, I'm calmer now.
That's good. That's really
I know you are. I mean, you know what you do. You're very good at what you do. What are some other simple things that people can do to not have stress and anxiety? What are some simple things that people can do?
self-soothing. So thinking of phrases that are helpful for you, that are comforting. So by saying to yourself, so sometimes placing your hand on your heart can be quite helpful, and saying it's okay.
In my heart.
Yeah, it's okay. You're okay. So this is what I'd like to do. This is part of what I teach in self-compassion, and also self-compassion and the inner critic. I've combined the two together. So you've got different sides of self-compassion. With that part of self-compassion, when we're struggling, we don't want to feel it, but the more we keep resisting it, we're reinforcing it. So what we want to do is just allow it to be there, and seeing how we can offer more emotional support by recognizing what's going on beneath the surface. And also just saying something like, if you are feeling anxiety, it's okay. It's okay that I feel anxiety right now. the more you can acknowledge it, and also sort of naming it really and saying it's okay, and then investigate what's going on. What is it? What is it? What's beneath that? And the more we can go underneath the layers, we can start to identify these patterns of why we feel the way we do, and also what's holding us back. And then you've got self-soothing phrases that you can use that could be helpful. It's okay, I'm here for you. You're going to be okay. Or just thinking of ones that feel right.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's definitely helpful. I mean, in my journey, I've also encountered this done this as well, where, you know, sometimes we have these thoughts that they keep coming to the mind, but then we just forget about them, and then it comes back again and again. And that is because, like you're saying, you need to actually let it be there and just know that it's there, and be aware, and that will you know, just will solve that problem, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, mindfulness is paying attention to your thoughts, physical sensations, and the environment around you. Environment around you helps you to be non-judgmental of your thoughts, and also stops that perpetuation of stories that you tell yourself, or, you know, because we don't know the difference between what's going on in our life right now or what we fabricate by thought alone, because to our mind the two things are the same. But when we can grasp that, it enables us to be able to create things, because thoughts turn into things, but sometimes we don't want them to turn into negative things. But the more you focus on it, the more you're going to increase it. And I can give an example of what led me on this journey in the first place was going through a breakup. When I went through this breakup, I was constantly criticizing myself and going through self-blame, beating myself up for things that I did wrong, mistakes that I'd made, and reinforcing the same feeling lost. Then I studied to be a yoga teacher, but this was a way for me to find a healing journey. I just wanted to find out what it is about life, what it is that I don't know, because I'm in this isolation with this person. We had this amazing connection, but now it's been severed. What do I need to know about myself? Because this doesn't feel normal. And the more I start to identify with that, and that's what led me to mindfulness and self-compassion, was when I studied that, things started to change, transformational. I ended up increasing confidence in myself, trust and acceptance, self-acceptance, that I can do this. And it's really all to do with connecting through the mind and body. At the same time, when I was going through that, I did have some therapy. In some ways it was helpful, but in other ways I had to come to a point where I had to help myself because it's expensive. But having a place where you have all your strategies there to support you, not having to rely on other people in order to support you. You know, sometimes that we do need that, having that emotional support. But if in the times that we do feel that we're struggling, we know what we need to do. And also it's to do with inquiry and questioning to how we feel, like why we feel the way we do. And also those questions, what do I need right now? Do you ever ask yourself that question? And I was asking myself that question. And sometimes what would come up is, Natasha, you need to go for a walk. So I'd go for a walk, or I'd take time out, I'd do some journaling, and I'd start to just have a bit of self-care. This is what we don't do. So I discovered this, and it became transformational. This is why I teach what I do, because it works.
Yeah,
So
and also it's interesting because, like you just told, that you had I mean, when I talked about your biography, you went through this big depression as well. Could you tell us a little bit about that, and how it has transformed your path?
yeah, I went through a really bad depression. I felt isolated. Because I was going through a breakup, but also I lost a close friend to me, and I hadn't gone through a grieving process, so I was holding on to that as well. And it was really hard for me to be able to let go, I suppose, of both at the time, because of holding on to something for so long. So I went through really bad depression. I felt very lost. I felt very isolated. It was during the pandemic, so there's so much isolation there too, as well as going through a breakup, as well as everything else. And it just perpetuated the same cycle. I was in such a bad way. And I tried to look for a way to heal myself. And this is when I tried these different therapies, psychotherapy, and other therapies that was quite helpful. But what I needed to do was know, what do I need to do? What strategies? What can I do? I didn't know. So I went on this healing journey to find out, how can I heal myself? And then I came across mindfulness compassion therapy. And that was the answer to my prayer, I guess, in that sense, because I knew then what I wasn't doing was finding a way to give myself emotional support, because I've never been taught how to do that.
Got you. Wow. So basically you transformed something painful into something amazing, because I know what you teach is
Yeah.
you teach strategies and therapies that you've done in yourself and that you've learned that offer lasting change, meaning it's long term. It's not something that it's for, okay, short term. There's, techniques that you can use right now to immediately get you results and get you calm. But then there's things that, like these mindfulness meditations that can work long term. And do you use affirmations within your meditations?
I do, yes, I do. I do affirmation frames, which aren't, you can't really get anywhere else, and that's in my program. So that is something that is like silent meditations.
And the program, okay, that program, okay, yeah, that program is going to be in the link description if you guys want to check it out. And so, and what else in terms of, tell me more about a few more strategies.
More strategies. Well, we could do a meditation again. Should we do a meditation?
One more, sure. Okay, let's go for it.
Okay. So, for this meditation, having your feet on the floor, closing your eyes, drawing your attention to your breath, breathing in and breathing out. Really focusing on the breath as you breathe in and breathe out. In and out. So noticing how we're feeling. Noticing how the body is feeling right now. Noticing how you're feeling emotionally, physically. And seeing if you can expand the air as you breathe in and breathe out. Now seeing if you can expand the air even more, almost like an hourglass, to the center of your body. And notice what that feels like. And perhaps becoming aware of any areas of pain, tension, or discomfort. Noticing any areas of the body that you might feel it. And perhaps saying something like, it's okay. It's already here, and let me welcome it as best I can. Bringing your attention to all of your experiences right here and now. As we're coming to the end of the practice, drawing your attention back to your breath, becoming aware of any changes of breathing and also how you might feel right now. Whenever you're ready, opening your eyes. And what was it like to do that practice, Fabio?
Very peaceful and enlightening. I mean, it was really good. I mean, I do meditation, so it's like I feel just calm and feel good, actually. Feel very calm now. And that was fast.
It was a short meditation. It doesn't take too long. What did it feel like? And did you have any areas of the body that you felt it the most?
Yeah, I had something here on the body, on the bottom of it, that I noticed there, and I accepted, like, and that was it. Other than that, I had a white space in my mind, just peaceful.
What did it feel like to bring awareness to it?
It felt good. It felt I was here now and watching.
What about the self-soothing phrases? What did that feel like? What did it feel like to give yourself kindness?
It felt acceptance, and it's okay to feel that way, and everything's gonna be all right. In kind of that way, yeah. It's kind of how things will heal naturally, and that's how I felt, yeah.
And how could you use it in your everyday life?
How could I use it? Well, I will use it. Well, I already meditate every day, so just doing again this way, just throughout the day. I mean, when I just anytime I want to just work on myself and heal and just be present and take care of myself, just do it again and again.
Good.
Absolutely, and it does really work. You feel more calm and just within it, like because like the attention of paying attention to your breath, it's so powerful because you're in the now, you're paying, it's you and you, so it's amazing. This video is part 1 of part 2. The next video will be up soon. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button. And if you enjoy this type of content, subscribe. And if you know somebody that has stress and anxiety, please share this video with them. Natasha's course will be here on the link up here and also in the description section. Thanks for watching. It was a pleasure being here with you, and I will see you next time.